Hi, welcome to Wallflowers. So today I had a lovely haul of strawberries. So here we have 12 packs of strawberries. That should have been £2.89 per pack. And that equates to something like £30, 48 pence. These were buy on a donation basis, so I donated £5 to get all of these, which is fabulous, and it makes it about £29 52 pence profit, cheaper than what it would have been. So although I wouldn't have bought this quantity at this price anyway, I now have enough strawberries to make a batch of strawberry jam, to can strawberries individually so I can use those for scones, ice cream, cakes, etc. And I'm also going to do some strawberry syrup to can strawberries in, but also as a strawberry syrup for, again, for ice cream, for drinks, for whatever you generally use syrup for. The taste of strawberry syrup is quite nice, you know, it's nicer than a normal syrup. So that's my intentions for today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse them all, um, take any ruined ones out, any that may have gone mouldy or can't be used. Obviously they'll go in the compost. For the others, the ones that are, excuse me, quite squishy, or a bit softer, shall I say, will be used for jams, and the firmer ones will be kept for canning as whole strawberries or strawberry chunks. So I've started the first batch. I've just started top and tailing the strawberries. They're a lovely size, they're nice and fresh, these are quite firm. And I'm taking the soft ones out separately and leaving those for jamming. So although depending on how many I have for canning, I might have to use some of the firm ones and just soften them down. But I'm going to work through them and see what we've got. So I'm taking each individual packet, tipping them into a colander, start rinsing them through and just twisting off the leaf. That one's a little bit softer, so I'll place that in there. This is a firm one, so it'll go in there. So I'm literally just separating them as I go along, of soft or firm really. That's the first go. And giving them a nice rinse as we go along. As you can see from the quantity I've got, this may take a little while, so you can see what I'm doing, and I'll come back once I've got these separated into two decent piles and we can see where we are. So this is what we ended up with. These are all the firm ones. These are slightly softer. I mean, saying that, they're still not soft. There's a couple that are, but not many. So at this point, I'm taking the excess white off. I'm just trimming it. I'm not taking too much off, just taking the green part off and most of the white. And I'm cutting them into sizes to go into jars. So at this size, you'd think it'd be okay, but these are the size jars I'm using because each time I don't want a great quantity. My son will generally take a jar and he'll eat them, you know. So that's a big enough portion for anyone, and that would be enough for cakes, etc. So I'm actually going to cut these again and do them in quarters rather than halves, and make sure I get enough strawberries in. Obviously if they're a smaller one, I'm going to leave those completely full, but I've been quite fortunate because the bulk of these strawberries are absolutely massive, you know. So I'll play with it. So that's my jam so far, and these two are canned strawberries and syrups. So I'm going to play along with it and see where we get. So as I say, there's a lot to trim through here and cut down into size. So I'll continue with that. Fill some of these jars, and I'll come back to you when I'm ready to make the syrup. Okay, so at this point everything's prepped and ready. So I've filled 10 jars with some of it really chunky and some are a bit smaller. So I've got 10 jars that I'll be adding a syrup to, and they will be canned and placed on the pantry shelf ready for, as I said earlier, cakes, ice cream, or just literally eating with a spoon out the jar. So it's 10 jars of strawberry. Now they're no different. I've never actually bought an actual tin of strawberries, but as a youngster I do remember them coming in the hamper, the Christmas hamper that our parents used to have. I know some people still have them, but I don't do that. I just go out and do my shop. And it was always a big treat, you know, this tin of strawberries in the middle of winter, you know, and you can do it yourself. It's just so easy. I'll say, if you haven't got a canning machine, you can literally do it in the oven. I've showed you before. So to have 10 jars of strawberries there, and they'll last quite a while. So that's 10 jars of those. I've got a whole pan here, which is just diced. I've just chopped up, made it easier for me to make the jam with. So that's about 1.5 kilos ready for jam. And literally all I've done, so all the edges I've cut off, the little white edges and things. I made my son a strawberry smoothie. I say I made my son, I made myself one as well while I was there. Absolutely delicious strawberries and lemon. With a little bit of honey in, absolutely beautiful. So we've drunk those, and then the lemon skins that were left I've added to the strawberry cuttings. I've added 4 cups of water and 2 cups of sugar. Literally just take the cup and fill the cup. It's the best method to do it. The Americans follow cup recipes, and as I've said before, I'm finding it much easier to do that. So I've literally added 4 cups of water and 2 cups of sugar. I'm going to bring that to a boil, and then leave it rambling for about 5 minutes if I can, and then eventually just drain all the lumps off. I'm not going to mash it, because as the flavour and the fruit comes, the redness comes out of the strawberry into the water, and you can just see there where the water's changing colour now and going red. So the actual strawberries themselves will leach into the water, and the strawberry ends will all be white. I had no fear of using the white ends, because obviously they're just going to have flavour anyway, and it's the flavouring we're taking from this. Albeit there will be nutrients in it. There's vitamin B's, vitamin K's, vitamin C's, really good for your skin, really good for your digestive system. You know, they're a lovely fruit if you can get them cheap enough, you know, and use every bit of it if you can. So from the strawberry tops, we had the greens. Now I had to research, because I didn't know whether there was actually going to be a use for it or not. Now I did discover that a tea can be made out of these leaves. So literally, again, without the sugar, without the added extra, you just add the water, do the same kind of thing I'm doing, and make a tea out of it separately. Now, should you be constipated or having any bowel trouble, which is quite a common factor for a lot of us at the moment, drinking 2 cups of the strawberry leaf tea will act as a laxative, and apparently 2 cups is all you'll need, and it really works. If you're not constipated and you don't need to use this as a medicine form, you can actually do the same thing again, as I say, add water, bring it to the boil, let it cool down, and you can use it as a toner for your skin. And what I was reading, I was quite impressed with. So, I'd say, clear your skin. And those of us that may have blotches on our skin, it can actually have a paling effect on red blotchy areas, and it will pale that out for you before you apply your makeup or any creams. So again, another useful thing. So before you actually throw any trimmings out, or you're about to discard any part of fruit or vegetables, have a quick Google, have a quick look up and see, is there something that I can literally create from this waste? And as I say, if you can use it as a laxative or a skin toner, or you can use it for something else, why waste it and pay money for it if you can buy your own? So I think that's a fabulous idea, so I'm actually going to do it. And I've never done it before. So as I say, I'm literally waiting for this to come to a boil, and then I shall lower it slightly and keep it simmering for about 20 minutes. And then completely drain it. As I say, don't mash it. Excuse me. Don't mash it, because then you're actually going to cloud the syrup. If you want a nice red clear syrup, don't mash it at all. Just leave it, and you get a beautiful colour from this syrup, and it will taste really nice. I've made jams before, and as you know, I don't always add sugar, but I will be adding sugar to this, and trying to get a nice thick jam. So once that syrup's done, top up those jars. Whatever's left, I will literally bottle, can, and keep for my son for ice cream, just drinking, or however he chooses to use it. So I'll crack on with doing this syrup at the moment, and I'll come back to you. Okay, so the stage I'm up to now is the syrup's made, the jam's made. I've filled 10 jars. So I'm going to drain. I've allowed it to cool a little. Still warm. I'm going to drain and remove. As I said before, not to squash. We're always tempted to squash and eke a little bit more out, but not to squash, and to just literally drain out the fluid, the syrup. I think I'm going to leave that. Okay. I think I'm actually going to use the bigger one. There's always going to be a mess if you're OCD or something. I don't really think this is the job for you, but there's going to be a lot of mess. There always is when I do something. And you can see the colour of that syrup. It's a beautiful colour. Now when I fill the jars up, the strawberry jars, I'm actually going to do half and half. I'm going to fill them half with syrup, and then I'm going to top up with hot water. And then through the canning process, they both should come together to form a thinner syrup, which would be sufficient for the canning of the strawberries that we want. And then I'm going to bottle the rest of the syrup so we've got it. Right, for the purposes of the film, I'm not going to wait and pick out every last bit. I may come back and drain this bit again. happy with that. That's a lot. And if you think this has all come from waste, so all this syrup is made from the trimmings of the white ends of the strawberries and the lemon skin. Yes, I've added some sugar. So we've got that, and now, as I say, I'm going to half fill each jar. More than half. They smell gorgeous, the syrup smells beautiful. So some are a little more than half, so take a little bit out. So that's 10 of those half filled. Just bear with me now. Just got a bottle here for the syrup. So it's always the case, you want something, it'll be in the sink. Put your glasses on, Mary. I'm hoping to get at least 3 bottles. See how we go. So, we've got 3 bottles of syrup, 10 jars of strawberries. I'm just going to top up with some water. And apparently with the jam and strawberries, when you're doing fruits, you top up slightly above that 1-inch level. So just a bit more than normal. Again, as usual, take a knife and debubble. Always plastic or wooden, don't use metal. Some of them got lovely large half slices in, so they'll be nice for decoration or just to look pretty, really. I'll say even if it's eaten with a spoon out the jar, they'll be lovely nice slices for when we want them. Okay, leave those to sit a minute. Now what we have here is I have some mini jam jars. I'm building up quite a collection of these now. I've got 6 of those, and the big jars. So again, I need ladle. Always messy. But we'll clean them up before they go on the shelf. I've got a lot more left in the pan, so I'm going to have to find myself some more jam jars in a minute, which I've already got organised, so it's just a matter of bringing them in from the pantry. I'm not really worried about the jars messy at the minute and my fingers everywhere because the tops will all be vinegared, and then after the canning process I'll actually wash the jars so there'll be no stickiness to them. So that's all of those, and about half a pan left, so I'm going to grab myself a couple of more jars for the jam. I'll fill them up and I'll come back to you when they're ready for the canning process. Okay, so the bulk of the work is done now, and they're all ready for canning. So 2, 4, 6, 8 8 jam jars of jam, 7 breakfast jams, so when we're feeling a little bit posh we can put out individual servings, and that's quite nice, we like that. I managed 4 bottles of the syrup, because of course I did 3 at first and went back and drained the other one properly, so we managed to get 4 whole bottles of the syrup. And then of the actual, that's half a jar of the jam. It looks quite sloppy, but that was set once it's been through the canner. So the actual strawberries themselves, we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of those. Strawberries always go paler, don't be afraid of that. And I will put them all in the canner on 60 degrees for 30 minutes. That way it's getting another juicing and everything, and the jam will set better, and they'll be totally vacuum sealed and will sit on the shelf till we need them. So whether that's next week or in 3 years time, we will have, we've got an abundance of jam, strawberries and enough syrup to keep us going for a while. So that investment of £5 today, with a dramatic savings of nearly £30, will now keep us going until my own strawberries are ready and I can do this all again. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this load. As I keep saying, if you can go out and you can buy in bulk at a good price, go home, prep it, get it in the cupboards and keep it there for your use. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. As I say, it'll go on 60 for 30. I shall then take them out, lay a tea towel on the side, leave them to cool down till morning, and then place them on the shelf. In America they call it putting up. So once they've canned it and they've finished, they're putting that food up on the shelf ready for the family, and they call it putting up. So thanks for joining me today. I hope you're doing something similar. If you are, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you soon. Bye.